someone who doesn't need any introduction, Steve Argo.
Thank you. I was told to keep this very brief, and I will. As was announced, Jim Spoor could not be here. He was the chairman of this year's committee and would normally make this award. I wasn't a member of the committee, but I'm informed there was a significant number of very highly qualified people, all nominated by the service community. The committee, which was just announced, reviewed those in depth and considered them, and happy to say that this year's nominee was, award winner was unanimously chosen, Lerzan Aksoy.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everyone. I want to begin by thanking the Lovelock Award Committee and SERVSIG for honoring me with this wonderful award. It is and will always be one of the high points of my career. I also want to thank so many of you here with whom I have had the privilege to write with, to work with, and build lifelong friendships. So many of my closest friendships and collaborations exist or have been strengthened by this amazing community of service scholars. As others frequently hear me say, our service community is like no other. It is open and welcoming. It is interdisciplinary. It is intellectually nourishing. It is committed to making a better world. And to borrow one of my favorite lines from SERVSIG, it is committed to having fun in the process. It is a tremendous honor to be given a Lifetime Achievement Award for this great discipline. When I learned I was this year's winner, I must confess that it was a surreal experience. I was awestruck, humbled, and more than a bit intimidated that I was included in a group of people I consider luminaries, with the exception of my husband, of course. Of course, I'm only joking. Tim is my favorite researcher, and he's brilliant, and he has been my biggest champion and supporter, and I would not be here without him. And he's here tonight with our 11-year-old son, Max, and the reality is, that my family is my rock. They give me security and support to feel like I can do anything. I love you. Speaking of my family, I really wish that my father was alive and here today. He would have been so much happier than I am, which is saying a lot since I'm overjoyed. He left for Paris as a young man without being able to speak French to pursue his PhD in international law from Sorbonne, and he infused his love of education in his children. I miss you, Dad, and I love you. One of the things that I love most about the service community is its openness to giving people a chance to prove themselves. And looking back at my own career, I think about how many people gave me a chance. I think about Roland Rust, as editor of Journal of Service Research, believing in and publishing my PhD dissertation paper. Parsu Parasuraman inviting me to join the Journal of Service Research editorial review board. Jay Canopoli inviting me to join the Journal of Service Management editorial review board. Werner Kunz and Mark Rosenbaum asking me to organize the SERVSIG Doctoral Consortium, which ultimately led me to co-chair SERVSIG. Maura Scott for nominating me for the AMA Academic Council. And I think about Kay Lemon sitting down with me to talk about finding my identity in the service space and how this led me to co-lead a Journal of Service Management Thought Leadership Conference in Nijmegen, Netherlands, and a special issue of the journal. And there's so many other examples I could give that involve many of you here today, and I wish I could highlight everyone who has positively impacted my development as a service researcher, but it would literally take days. But please know that I am incredibly grateful to all of you and to have you in my life. And with so many new researchers in our field, it is my hope that they find that it is as open to them as it has been to me. I would ask that those of us who have found success in this great discipline to work to make that happen, because opportunities beget other opportunities. Proving yourself opens other doors. And more importantly, it opens minds to new possibilities. And it is these new possibilities that keep our field relevant and vibrant. One of the things I love about this award is that it is for research, teaching, and service. And as academic researchers, we have an inherent focus on producing impactful research. In many ways, it is the currency of our profession. And clearly, research should matter. But teaching and service are no less important. If our idea is going to change the world, then they need to inspire others. Our ideas about how business can profitably benefit people and the planet need to captivate the students we teach, as they will one day hold positions of prominence in our companies and our communities. And if we are to move our ideas from publication to the practice of management, we must find ways to demonstrate the power of transformative and sustainable service, so that there is conclusive evidence to the leaders of today that there is a better way. I fervently believe that this is essential, and it has personally led me to actively work in curriculum development, first as Associate Dean, and now as a step into Interim Dean as Fordham's Gabelli School of Business. And it has also led me to serve as the Managing Director of the Responsible Business Coalition at Fordham, uniting sort of educators, executives, researchers, nonprofits, and students around the idea that responsible business practices can drive business value and profitability. And for me, it's been more than a lofty goal. It's actually happening. At the RBC, that we like to call it, we convene 52 CEOs around the world, top fashion companies, twice per year, to address the issues that they have revealed to be of greatest concern to them to develop collective industry action. And in response to one of these concerns, we co-developed the Impact Index to help drive sustainability in fashion through standardized product certification and labeling. And it's been field tested right now. All of these opportunities need to be central to our students' experience in higher education if we are to bridge the gap between how we educate and what the world needs. Doing these required that I move out of my comfort zone and frequently say, why not? And be open to new ideas. And they've required that I develop new skills. And it hasn't been easy. But being able to infuse service principles with current management practice within the minds and hearts of our future leaders is what inspired me to be a service researcher in the first place. So I would like to ask that we as service researchers look for ways that we can help change the present and inspire the future. Finally, I'd like to say how wonderful it is to be in a field that takes inclusivity seriously. As a woman, I am thrilled that the service research welcomes everyone, and important contributions are made by a diverse group of scholars and practitioners. As the 29th recipient of the Christopher Lovelock Career Contributions Award, however, I am the 6th woman to receive this award. And to be clear, every winner of this award has been most deserving of this recognition. But as we go forward into the future, it is my sincere hope that the diverse group of scholars and practitioners currently pushing our field forward will have lifetime contributions that give them the opportunity to stand where I'm standing and to in some way say what I'm about to say. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this great community and for this wonderful honor. I will do everything I can to live up to the ideals of this discipline and to continue to prove myself to be worthy of this recognition. And I feel an enormous debt to those who have gone before me to build the service research community into the field that it is today. And I'm excited to know that the future of this great discipline is in secure hands, given the breadth of the wonderful researchers who have made it their home. Thank you again.